Yes, some big breaking news coming in. Delhi's anti-encroachment drive begins. Yet again, clashes between police and the locals in Madanpur Khadar. Amanatullah Khan has been detained. MLA Amanatullah Khan has been detained from the area. Remember, we're looking at protests that took place even while during the Shaheen Bagh anti-encroachment drive. It was the same Amanatullah Khan who stood by the locals, wanted to resist the bulldozers from carrying out its duties. Now we're looking at another round of an anti-encroachment drive that's being carried out at Madanpur Khadar, and MLA Amanatullah Khan has currently been detained for resisting the drive. These are live visuals coming in from Madanpur Khadar, an area in South Delhi very close to Shaheen Bagh, where the anti-encroachment drive has begun by the MCD. MCD had already alerted that an anti-encroachment drive will be taking place across several areas of Delhi all the way from the 10th to the 14th of May. We're looking at several areas that are under scanner, including that of Shaheen Bagh and the surrounding areas. Here is Madanpur Khadar area where the anti-encroachment drive is being carried out. AAP's MLA Amanatullah Khan standing by to resist the bulldozers. He's now been detained from the spot. Amit Bharadwaj joining us live from Delhi from the spot there. Amit, we see that Madanpur Khadar is another area which is under scanner by the MCD, while bulldozers have reached there to carry out the anti-encroachment drive. Here you have AAP's Amanatullah Khan, like he did with Shaheen Bagh, resisting here as well, standing by the locals and trying to stop those bulldozers from acting. He's now been detained. We're getting some live visuals coming in of the AAP MLA being taken into detention.
Nabila, the situation on the ground in Madanpur Khadar is volatile. I'll just show you the visuals. There has been minor stone pelting. This particular police official has been injured. You can see the blood stains on his pants. And along with that, on the ground right now, several supporters of Aadmi party are being detained from this particular location, Kanchan Kunj of Madanpur Khadar. And I'll just ask Manish to show you the visuals on the ground. You know, in this particular lane, the paramilitary force along with Delhi police has entered. Now the paramilitary force is taking detours of the entire neighborhood to make sure the law and order situation is maintained on this side as well. I'll just ask Manish to come on this side. So the paramilitary force is also stationed on this side, and this is the particular site, Nabila, where Aadmi Party MLA Amanatullah Khan, MLA from Okla, who was also present on the ground in Shaheen Bagh, where anti-encroachment drive was being carried out. He was sitting here, right here, along with his supporters since morning, and he was telling Delhi police, he was telling MCD not to carry out the demolition drive in Madanpur Khadar. He said that when MCD wanted to do away with the illegal encroachments, Aadmi Party MLAs had supported the drive. They had requested the locals to do away with the encroachments. But now it is not about encroachment. Now today's drive was more about demolition, Nabila, and these are the slippers, footwears which has been left on the spot because when Amanatullah Khan was being taken up by Delhi police, his supporters had resisted arrest of Amanatullah Khan, and in that process there was a scuffle of sorts between the Delhi police officials as well as Amanatullah Khan and locals. And after that, police resorted to a bit of force to disperse the crowd, to disperse the angry locals from the ground. And these are the visuals that you are seeing on the ground, the footwears that has been left on ground zero. So, one thing that needs to be noted, Nabila, that so far we were seeing that anti-encroachment drive was being carried out by the South MCD, North MCD, in East MCD. But today's action in the South Delhi, in Madanpur Khadar, is no more anti-encroachment drive. If we go by the books, this is a clear-cut case of demolition drive. And we were standing on the other side of these barricades where the demolition drive was being carried out by the MCD officials. There are a number of bulldozers which are in action on the other side of this road. I don't know whether the barricades are visible on the screen or not, but Nabila, let me just explain. When you cross these barricades, there's a big 6-story building which has been hammered since morning, and the roof of that building has been brought down. The walls of that building has been broken. We are being told that Saif, a local resident, is the owner and builder of that particular 6-story building, and there was a 3-story building right adjoining to that building that has been pulled down. It has been converted into debris. What you see on the ground are rubble, nothing else. And after that, the bulldozers, 2 bulldozers of South MCD moved to an under construction building in Kanchan Kunj of Madanpur Khadar, and they were hammering the building with the bulldozer. The walls were being brought down, the pillars were being brought down. So clearly, what started as anti-encroachment drive in the national capital has now taken full-blown shape of anti-demolition drive. And remember, Nabila, just a couple of days back, last week, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia had said that BJP-led MCD is trying to, I'll just request to show the visuals, more people from the ground zero are being detained by the police. This particular individual has been brought by Delhi police and he is being detained. Now so today not only the action is being taken against the Aadmi Party workers, Aadmi Party leaders, but angry locals who were trying to interfere in today's demolition drive have been detained as well. So that is the situation on the ground. As I had said in the beginning, Nabila, this particular group of paramilitary force along with Delhi police had entered the lane. They went inside to maintain law and order situation. It was a couple of minutes back. The situation here was quite tense. The situation was volatile. They took a detour of this entire lane. And during that particular process, several individuals from the neighborhood have been picked up by Delhi police. They have been detained and they are being taken away from the spot. So clearly, Delhi police and paramilitary force is trying to ensure that the law and order situation on the ground is maintained, the peace does not get disrupted. And on the other side, so there are 3 visuals, Nabila, if you understand. One side, paramilitary forces, Delhi police trying to maintain the law and order situation on the ground, detaining the angry locals, residents, as well as Aadmi Party leaders.
Right. Amit, just stay with us. We're going to cut across to a reporter joining us where we see a lot of commotion coming from that area, Madanpur Khadar area, where locals there are resisting in the anti-encroachment drive carried out by the MCD. Here you have visuals of the police trying to calm the situation.
खुद यहाँ पर मौजूद है और लगातार इस पूरे इलाके में सिचुएशन पर जो है वो नजर जो है वो पुलिस की तरफ से रखी जा रही है। ये तस्वीरें मैं आपको और दिखाऊंगा कि यहाँ पर देखिए कि गलियों की तरफ अभी भी जो लोग खड़े हुए हैं, आप देखिए कि किस तरीके से यहाँ पर विरोध यहाँ पर कर रहे थे, वो लोग अभी वहाँ पर मौजूद है। और लगातार पुलिस इस पूरी गली के बाहर यहाँ पर गश्त करती हुई पैरामिलिट्री की फोर्सेज जो है वो यहाँ पर फिलहाल नजर आ रही है। ये तस्वीरें मदनपुर की, और लगातार जो विरोध प्रदर्शन करने वाले जो लोग हैं उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई जो है यहाँ पर ये स्थिति जो है वो फिलहाल नजर आ रही है इसमें।
Looking at Madanpur Khadar area currently facing chaos as the MCD is being met with resistance from the locals who reside in that area, asking bulldozers not to drive over their commercial establishments or even homes that could be on illegal land. Here we're looking at the police trying to calm the situation, asking for the locals to calm down, allow for the MCD to carry out their drive. Just a little while ago we saw
रखा है कि इसके आगे जाने की ज्यादा, अगर आप देखेंगे कि बैरिगेटिंग यहाँ पर लगी हुई है, उसके आगे जाने की मीडिया को भी इजाजत नहीं थी। बुलडोजर भी आपको नजर आएगा। वहीं पास में करीबन 2 से 3 बिल्डिंग से जिनको डेमोलिशन जो है वो किया जाना था, जिनमें से 2 बिल्डिंग्स को पूरी तरह से डेमोलिशन जो है वो किया जा चुका है। इसी को लेकर के लगातार यहाँ पर सुबह से जो इलाके के विधायक है अमानतुल्लाह खान, और उसके अलावा ये पासी के जो निगम पार्षद है वार्ड नंबर 102 से, जो कि शाहीनबाग इलाका है, वाजिद खान, वो यहाँ पर मौजूद थे। पुलिस की तरफ से उनको साफ तौर पे कहा जा रहा था कि आप इस तरीके के बयानबाजी जो है वो यहाँ पर ना दे ताकि लोग भड़के। लोग लगातार यहाँ पर इकट्ठा हो रहे थे। तकरीबन सुबह से ही अगर बात की जाए तो यहाँ पर 250 से 300 लोग जमा थे और धीरे धीरे करके संख्या जो है वो लगातार बढ़ती जा रही थी। पुलिस यहाँ पर लगातार इस पूरे घटनाक्रम पर नजर थी। पैरामिलिट्री की फोर्सेज के जवान यहाँ पर तैनात थे। उसके अलावा कई सारी टुकड़ियां जो है वो जहाँ पर डेमोलिशन था वहां पर थी। वहां पर किसी भी शख्स को जाने की इजाजत नहीं थी और लगातार यहाँ पर जो इलाके के विधायक है वो चाह रहे थे कि वहां पर लोगों से जाके मिल सके, लेकिन उनको फिलहाल पुलिस ने रोक दिया, किसी को भी जाने की इजाजत नहीं दी। और इसी चक्कर में अमानतुल्लाह खान, इसी पॉइंट पर मैं आपको बता दूं कि यहाँ पर महिलाओं के साथ, लोगों के साथ यहाँ पर विरोध करने के लिए जमीन पर बैठ गए थे और लगातार वो मांग कर रहे थे कि उनको उस इलाके में जाने दिया जाए, कि पुलिस की तरफ से कहा गया कि अगर आप वहां जाते हैं तो माहौल खराब हो सकता है और ऐसे में आगे जाने की इजाजत जो है वो नहीं दी जा सकती, और अगर आप आगे जाएंगे तो उनको डिटेन जो है वो कर लिया जाएगा। लेकिन 2 बिल्डिंग्स को डेमोलिशन के बाद अमानतुल्लाह खान और तमाम लोगों की तरफ से, उनके एडवोकेट की तरफ से यहाँ पर कहा गया कि आप हमको आगे जाने दें, हम उन लोगों से बातचीत करना चाहते हैं। पुलिस ने साफ तौर पर मना करा कि आगे का माहौल ठीक नहीं है, अंदर जाने की इजाजत नहीं दी जाएगी। जिसके बाद अचानक से ही विरोध करने लगे। पुलिस ने कहा इन तमाम लोगों को जो है वो डिटेन किया जाए। इलाके के जो विधायक है उनको डिटेन करने की कोशिश की गई, भगदड़ मची और उसके बाद से पुलिस के ऊपर
Well, there you have a reporter there from ground bringing us all the latest details as we're looking at a heated atmosphere. Locals there, residents of Madanpur Khadar area who are resisting the anti-encroachment drive that's being carried out by the MCD. Remember, the MCD has already given out signals asking for a drive to be carried out at least across 7 localities in Delhi, including the Shaheen Bagh, Madanpur Khadar area, New Friends Colony, several other areas that have come under scanner by the MCD as they believe that there are encroached establishments which need to be razed down with immediate effect. This also comes in the backdrop of MCD body elections that will be coming very close. It's in fact coming up soon enough. In the backdrop of the MCD elections, here's the MCD going on a massive anti-encroachment drive where they're carrying out demolition of many of those illegally encroached properties along several areas of Delhi. Amit Bharadwaj joining us more on that. Amit, what's the situation right now? What are the locals saying? We saw in Shaheen Bagh many of them speaking with conviction that there is nothing illegal. Show us what's illegal and then we'll allow you to demolish those establishments. But over here, we see that locals are sloganeering, protesting, raising their hands in protest. But what is their grouse? What are they saying? How can they stop the MCD from doing their duties? If at all there is an illegal encroached establishments, then it's the duty for the MCD to bring them to book.
Well, Nabila, the situation in Madanpur Khadar and Shaheen Bagh are completely different. You know, what we had seen in Shaheen Bagh, that locals had come out in big numbers. There was Aadmi party workers and the Congress party workers on the ground resisting the anti-encroachment drive. But those locals were also continuously saying that tell us what is illegal, what is what had been encroached on the government land, and we will remove those encroachments. Those were the words of the locals in Shaheen Bagh. And despite that, there were allegations on Aadmi party workers as well as Congress workers of interfering in the MCD's work. But today, since morning, I've been here, Nabila, on ground zero in Madanpur Khadar. The MCD came here with all the preparations. What you see on the ground, the paramilitary forces in big numbers, they have been stationed here right since morning, along with Delhi police. And there are multiple bulldozers which are in action mode in Madanpur Khadar. And that is why you saw Amanatullah Khan, Okhla MLA, reaching the ground, and all that he was demanding was he wanted to meet the locals. Now, as far as locals are concerned, they are angry. They do not want these bulldozers to be in their neighborhood. They are saying that they have not been served notices. These are the claims. Now, remember, these are the claims of the locals. The MCD is saying that there are illegal constructions, illegal structures in the area, which they will pull down. And in fact, since morning, the bulldozers as well as human, as in manually the buildings are being brought down. There were hammers that were used on the buildings to pull down the walls, to pull down the roof of a particular 6-story building, and alongside it was a 3-story building, which was again there is a situation of a little clash. I'm just trying to get to that particular area to understand what is happening on the ground, Nabila. We are getting close to that particular area. You see another individual from this area has been detained by Delhi police. So that is the difference. In Shaheen Bagh, you had political activists getting detained. In Madanpur Khadar, it is not only the political leaders, MLA, who is being detained by Delhi police, it is the locals as well who are being detained by the Delhi police. And there was a sort of a resistance by the locals when the bulldozers has roped in. when Amanatullah Khan was being detained. There was resistance, and the proof of that resistance is still lying on the road. And right there on your screens, now another group of locals have come out. These are women from the neighborhood who have come out, Nabila, and they are continuously sloganeering against the BJP, against the MCD. They are sloganeering against the authorities. And again, the paramilitary force is coming close. The paramilitary force is coming close, Nabila, in order to remove these individuals. The action has increased on the ground. Women forces of paramilitary force, Nabila, have been called in order to remove these women who are protesting on the site. So these are locals who are being removed from the spot. Delhi police is asking the paramilitary force to detain these individuals.